Hey guys, working on my 2015 Infiniti QX80. We're going to be doing some front pads and rotors. Usually when your front pads go bad, you'll feel pulsating in your steering wheel. Another thing you can tell if you can't see the pad yourself, if you look here, see how deep the pad is inside the caliper bracket? That's another tall tale sign to let you know your pads are really low. Let's begin. The vehicle can be jacked up right there. You can place your jack stands right there along the frame rail. Put the wheel on the ground, break these lug nuts to 21 millimeters, lift it up. Let's remove the lugs and get the tire off. 21 millimeters bottom, if I didn't already mention. Alright, just like college, I gotta move fast here. It is winter time, it is cold, and I don't want my hands to lock up on me. So first thing, since we're working on the fronts, turn that steering wheel. Just like that, to our benefit, to make it easier. I'm gonna spray this here. I'm gonna spray the rotor itself, where the hub is. And now, let us get started. Pop this off. Don't lose that. This is a 10 millimeter right here. Tracked it. Tighten it back up. Good. These are 17 mils. Useless. That's out too. Pull this caliper off. Okay, I have a very weird situation here. My front brakes on my passenger side were way lower than these, and I think I know why. But anyway, take these out. For right now, since I already have this up in the air, pull this. Oh yeah, I already know the difference now. If you see here, these slide pins, they hold on to, they make the brake pad shimmy with the tire as it moves and the rotor moves. My passenger side were way dry, and it caused my brake pads to be very low because they was riding the brake rotors. I'm gonna show you guys an example in a second, but get some silicone paste here and lubricate these. I don't like using regular brake caliper grease because it gets hard and it dries out, and then these get stuck and they don't move. So be kind of liberal. You know a good slide pin when it moves like that. I'm gonna do the same here. Alright, this is just to show you how important these slide pins are. This is on this side. Look how much meat is there. Look, it's on my passenger side. That's how important these slide pins are. If they're not lubricated, they'll stick on the rotor. You'll get uneven pad wear, and these will just heat up riding the rotor. So make sure you always lubricate these. Now, these are 18 millimeters here. Let's get them out. Use a breaker bar if you need to. Use an impact gun. There you go. That's out. And we're almost ready. I'm leaving this up here, but if I have my S tool, hold on, let's see if I got it. Get your tool here, and I'm just gonna hang it up here on the suspension so that we're not putting any stress on that line. Rotor comes right out. Thankfully, the last person put anti-seize on here. I appreciate you. Let's clean this hub up. Whoever had this before me put anti-seize on it, and I appreciate you. Made that rotor get coming off really good, but I need to clean it off now with some wire brush. Just hit this all up and clean this hub up spot free. Get back to you guys when I'm done. And that's a nice clean hub surface. I'll re-lubricate this in a minute, but you want to make sure you clean this surface. If it's rusty or anything around this lip, your rotor will sit kind of cockeyed and it won't turn straight, and you will have problems as far as sound and stuff. Let's start cleaning up our parts. Pop these off. I have new hardware. If you don't, clean them. Now I'm gonna get a wire brush and clean this up. And a little bit of brake cleaning, like that. And doing this with one hand, I do apologize. Clean where the mounting surface is. Make sure that it's nice and clean. And just clean that right there. Okay, now we're nearly ready to get our new hardware on. Let's get the caliper pushed back. Spray it. Clean the boot off. Get as much rust as you can off of that boot, because it's getting ready to go back in. Now we're going to get an old pad like this and a caliper tool like this. You can use a C-clamp if you don't have something like this. But now I'm going to show you what to do as far as with the brake fluid, with the bleeder screw. Alright, using a one-man bleeder tool right here. Got my little setup. I'm going to insert this straw right here like that. And it's so cold out here, I can't get this damn straw to sit straight. So I'm going to have to let it hang down. I'm going to get my 10mm bit wherever she is. Hold on. Alright, and what I'm going to do here is turn this to my left. And that's going to have fluid come out now. Oh shit. No. Here we go. So the reason why we have this straw here. Oh, I wish it wasn't so cold. So now when I push this fluid back, like I'm squeezing this, I'm pushing the brake pads in, and the fluid is gonna go back into my brake hose tool. And Jesus, come on. This is just a struggle bus in the wintertime. Alright, something like this. I'm gonna have to hold them at the same time and squeeze it. And as you can see there, I am filling this thing up fast. I might even max it out. Okay, I did max it out on the other side, but they were way lower. And just like that, all that brake fluid we just got out of there. The reason why I do this is to get the old fluid out of the system so that newer fluid can enter the system. And plus, ABS modules nowadays don't like brake fluid going back up into it. So just like that, all that old brake fluid out. Paint the hub with anti-seize. Use your finger, spread it around nice and thin. Then we're gonna get this cleaned up and ready to go. Put some ceramic parts grease. Gonna put some here where the caliper is gonna make contact with the slide pins. I mean with the bracket, with the new brackets. Here and here. You do this so that if your pins move at all, I mean if your brackets move at all, you don't get any squealing. And I'm just gonna spread it nice and thin. It's right there, like that. That. Alright, let's get that hardware in. Alright, now this new hardware. Here, 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 in here. Alright, now we can get our rotor on, get our pads on. Get it, slide it on like that. And for demonstration purposes, get you some brake clean. You already did both sides, but you spray it. Clean paper towel, wipe the face off. These usually have packaging oil on them that needs to be removed. And we're just gonna push this up against it, and if it doesn't hold, we'll put a lug nut right here. Alright, now get a little bit of lock thread right here. Not a ton, especially for this. This is a big truck, don't need a lot of it. Let's get our caliper bracket on like this. And here too. Put these down. Get our torque wrench out and then torque them down. With a really long torque wrench, a half drive. Torque these to 122 foot-pounds. Nice big long torque wrench. Alright, let's get our caliper ready. Alright, now just gonna scrape this. Nice and clean. Just like that. Let's get our pads in first. Big difference in size too. The differences between the two is massive. Alright, Now, squealer goes on the inside. This stays on the outside. And with some ceramic parts, grease. Ooh, that's sticky. Alright. And we're going to get it right where this makes contact with the hardware. Do not get any on the actual brake pad material itself. And you don't want a lot of this stuff. You don't need a lot of it. If you get too excessive, it could cause buildup. And it just slides in from here. Damn. Just like that. And you should feel a nice good movement. And same situation here. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, here, here, and here. Alright? And it slides in just like that. That's what we want to see. Now we can get our caliper on. Alright, one of the last things I'm going to put on here is called Loctite disc quiet stick. It's a paste that will bond the caliper with the anti-squeal shim, so that we don't get any squeals as our caliper moves up and down or side to side, one or the other. I like to put them right here on these claws and put some right here, and for the back caliper, I mean for the back brake hub, I mean the back brake pads. It'll look like this. Cool. And that's what it should look like, if you can see that. Now we're gonna one last thing. This is the most challenging part. Okay, these brake pads have these little spreaders here, and they go in these holes, but you got to keep your hand holding them together, because these are going to try to push them apart. So that's one. I'll get my hand here. There you go. So we're locked in there, and then here, and here, like that. Like I said, they are strong. So the thing is, you got to use one hand and slide it in and get a hold of that, because it's gonna want, the pads are gonna want to spread out. And push this slide pin in and down here at the bottom. Come on, baby. Why are we struggling? There we go. Okay. Turn these outwards. Cool. Get these back in. One. That's two. And these get torqued to 53 foot-pounds. I'm gonna cheat. I'm using my impact gun. Just like that. Like that. But yeah, if you want to get a torque wrench out, 53 foot-pounds. Don't forget to put your thing back on. Just make sure this is tight. I'm gonna break it first. Alright, I'm gonna tighten it back down. Cool. Don't OD on that, you can break it. Put this on now. Oof. Alright. And we're gonna get our lug nuts on. We're gonna torque these. You're gonna get them snug on while up in the air. Put it on the ground, and we're gonna torque them to 100 foot-pounds, okay? It looks pretty, doesn't it, you guys? Did a good job here. And just to show you, remember what I said, when the pads are new, they'll come out pretty far. When they're going bad, they'll be deep into that caliper. But now we're ready to get this wheel on. And torque these to 100 foot-pounds. Yeah. Cross pattern. then I like to make a second pass. And pump your pedal till it starts to get nice and firm. I think that's as good as we're gonna get for right now. I might have to start the vehicle up. Yeah, I think because of this electrical box, this master cylinder looks a little special. I'm gonna start the truck up and see if this fluid goes down. Okay, so for this truck, you do have to start the vehicle for the brake fluid to go down into the caliper. I was above the max line before we started. I'm just under the max line now, so I don't really need to put any more brake fluid in here. But I will say, this truck takes dot 3. If you have dot 4, you can put dot 4 with dot 3. You just can't do it the other way around, okay? Other than that, thanks for watching, you guys. Till next time, out. Bye.